People, deluded, I'm back again. Good morning, folks. Smash the like button, get the creative juices flowing, and let's go over everything. Arsenal are really struggling to agree a deal with RB Leipzig over Benjamin Sesko. And while the club are still trying to complete a deal, there's currently no headway being made. So I guess that adds fuel to the fire where Gyökeres is concerned. You know, every minute, 1 minute is Sesko because, you know, Sporting are acting. Then 1 minute Sporting Lisbon are being silly. So now we're going for Sesko. Who knows? I'm at the point now where I think I speak for every Arsenal fan where, bro, just buy a striker, innit? Just buy a striker, get us Eze, get us Sesko or Gyökeres, try as hard as you can for Rodrigo, pivot that towards the left winger. Obviously, we are led to believe Zubamendi's done, and bring in all the additions so that we have the depth and we have the quality to the starting 11 to make a proper goal of, you know, the Premier League trophy. Let's be honest, 3 times we finished second. Last year was probably the shoddiest of them all. First year, we didn't expect it. Exciting football. The year after that, we ran it to the last day of the season and we took it up a level defensively. Last season, I think we didn't seize it. We didn't grab the opportunity. We were just going week in, week out where the Premier League's concerned and existing. And whether it's injuries and the knock-on effect that has, not having, you know, players with X Factor and Stardust, having strikers to score goals, our manager showing an inability to be flexible, I believe, you know, when certain things are not working, you know, working on low blocks. There's been a lot of isms and schisms as to why ultimately we didn't win the league title, ultimately why we had 14 draws, where we lost a lot of points from winning positions. We also scored a lot from set pieces, but we also conceded a lot. So we need to really accept that and exhaust all our options. There's a lot we need to do clearly from a coaching perspective. Clearly a lot we need to do in terms of, you know, physio and all of those kind of things. But a big part is obviously recruitment and what we do, or better yet, what we don't do in this market. Hopefully we've learned our lessons from last summer because, you know, in life, they say you start as you mean to go on, right? When I look at the mess of the summer and the moving parts, the whole Edu stuff, Jason Ito and all of that, you know, even down to January, it took us till March to get Berta in. It was really just, a pardon my language, a poo show, I'd say. Let's not swear this early in the morning. Arsenal will not pay more than 70 million euros for Benjamin Sesko. Arsenal are waiting to see if Leipzig change their stance, as Sesko is Mikel Arteta's preferred target. He feels Sesko completes the team. We're going to need a lot more to complete the team, but we do need a striker. There's been a lot of talks that Gyökeres is, you know, essentially going to sign for Arsenal. The latest report being he's left his wife. Whatever you say about Gyökeres, based on the media reports and the intensity he's chasing this dream about signing for Arsenal, I respect it and I like the mentality from a striker. According to Romano, however, there have not been any changes over the deal for Victor Gyökeres tonight. Sporting's asking price needs to be clarified before a deal can be closed. So it's unclear what's going on with, allegedly, his asking price. There's acting where Sesko's concerned. Do we pivot towards a third target? Because Ollie Watkins is being linked with Manchester United. Sacha Trevelli, once this loads, has said Arsenal are in advanced talks with Sporting regarding Gyökeres, and the club feel they are within touching distance of the finish line. Apparently, Gyökeres has already agreed a 5-year contract. Again, we hear that Arsenal want to spend 65 million. We hear 75, 80 million is what Leipzig want. We just heard that Arsenal don't want to go over 70 million euros. Court Offside is saying sources close to Arsenal's deal for Sesko have informed Court Offside that parties involved may be nearing a compromise on a fee in the region of 75 million euros. Team news and ticks on Sesko. The original thought was that Leipzig wanted 83 million euros. I think the structure is as complicated as the fee. So it comes down to when they get the money, really and truly. Because I think that 83 million euros was all up front, essentially like a release clause. And if you wanted to break that down, Leipzig wanted more money. They probably want a sell-on clause. Arsenal always thought Leipzig would budge. Arsenal obviously don't want to go to that amount, and it's been stuck. It seems as it's at a bit of an impasse. Now, this is where Berta's got to earn his money in this game of negotiations. Leipzig's point of view is Arsenal haven't put their best foot forward. I think Arsenal's point of view is there's no point with the numbers they're speaking. They're not putting any foot forward. From him being our preferred target, I would say it's probably now looks unlikely. It's not completely off or dead, but it probably won't happen. Now, that's probably added fuel to the fire with him being linked with several clubs. Berta hopes to finalize a deal for Gyökeres, people. The player wants to join Arsenal and is now close to agreeing personal terms with the club. Sporting have so far been uncompromising, but Berta hopes to settle on a fee slightly below 70 million euros. So that's a lot cheaper than Sesko. Manchester United, Manchester City, and Real Madrid are all tracking Sesko's situation in case Arsenal fail to get a deal done. As it stands, Leipzig's demands are too high. Now, you could make a case of Man United needing a forward. I mean, good players are always going to be required. You know, who would reject the chance to play under Pep Guardiola at City? Manchester United, if you go back to last season, us, Chelsea, and him, us, Chelsea, and Man United, you know, his agent was pictured at all of these grounds. So is what it is. Real Madrid, I don't think they're going to go for them. They're not going to spend the money, but they're probably more of a long-term kind of tracking. Manchester City, I've just gone on that. So yeah, man, it depends what's going on there. Team News and Ticks has also said, today I was told Arsenal spoke to Ollie Watkins again and said hold fire on any deal. He would be third choice. I mean, if they've told you you're going to be third choice and to hold fire, you know, you need the Sesko thing to completely die, Gyökeres to completely die. Maybe Arsenal have some other business irrelevant from a striker they need to tie up. You know, Man United could be a good opportunity. I know you're an Arsenal fan and you would be a good signing. I know it'd be a bit of a demi-downer after the names and we've been linked with and the aggression, but who knows? With the first two looking difficult, it's not a third choice that's miles away. Watkins is an Arsenal fan. I would love to play for them. And yeah, it'd be one less player scoring against us. So yeah, man, it's looking a bit techie where it is. So long story short, Sesko's asking price, and it doesn't seem like Leipzig are going to budge. Gyökeres, it seems like a deal was complicated, but there's more of a willingness from the player to get it done. And Ollie Watkins essentially is our third choice should those fail. Tottenham did want Norgard. Thomas Frank absolutely loves him. He can't stop singing his praises, but Norgard only wanted Arsenal. He wasn't going to listen to anything else. I mean, brownie points to me. Eze, that is a deal Arsenal could get wrapped up in the next hour if they wanted to. The fans, therefore, do let me know your thoughts on everything we've discussed and also Eze and where you think he played for Arsenal. Smash the like button. Eze is desperate for it. There are rumours, I don't know where from, that Crystal Palace are willing to deal under the release clause. Now, some ITKs were actually saying last summer that Arsenal wanted to go for him this summer, and the sense of they felt that he needed one more year of maturation at Crystal Palace in which everything played out. Get the man over the line, man. Bring him. Ben Jacobs has spoken on Xavi Simons. There's an outside chance, depending on what the final price is. This is more left field, but Xavi Simons is one that Arsenal really like. The player is keen on the move to the Premier League. The challenge is that it was a complicated deal that saw him go to Leipzig. The total outlay was 80 million euros and the guaranteed fee was 50 million euros. But if he leaves so soon, a lot of those add-ons would not be paid. There's a window of opportunity, so I'd keep a small eye on Arsenal, but I don't want to get anyone overexcited needlessly, people, says Ben Jacobs. Arsenal always wanted to strengthen on the left wing, but they've got Gabriel Martinelli there, says Ornstein. If he was to leave, then you could see them bringing in a top left-sided winger. If he's not to leave, I don't think so. Where we've reported on the likes of Rodrigo and Anthony Gordon, I think that's if Martinelli leaves. I don't necessarily think that's if he was to stay. Now, Ornstein has also said we want 3 attackers. In an ideal world, Rodrigo, Eze, and a striker. But again, you might get Eze and a striker, whether that's Sesko or Gyökeres, and more of a, you know, someone that's got the capacity to become a household name in the sense of what you've seen to a degree with Rodrigo, with Anthony Gordon, with Nico Williams, and all the other guys we've been linked with. Mascara decided not to accept Valencia's proposal of a contract renewal. The player wants to join Arsenal and hopes the two clubs can reach an agreement on the transfer. My understanding is that Mascara's desire is very clear. Arsenal, Arsenal, Arsenal. Mascara wants to play for Arsenal. Now it's on Valencia and Arsenal to reach an agreement on a fee. The attraction of Arsenal is very strong for the player, people. Arsenal and Brentford have exchanged all paperwork for Christian Norgard deal. The Danish midfielder will join Mikel Arteta's squad as expected. Arsenal would be looking to do a deal if this allows for Eze at a lower price than his release clause. It's unclear whether a sale would need to happen first to facilitate a move, but this would be separate to their pursuit of a striker and a left winger. Arsenal are working on a deal for Eze. The player is keen on a move to Arsenal. He's excited by the project at the club. Arsenal have now started talks on the conditions of the deal with both Crystal Palace and Eze's reps, people. Moving away from that, Eze is part of a 3-attacker plan at Arsenal this summer, and the club are in the driving seat to sign him at the moment. Arsenal are prepared to sign Rodrigo, Eze, and a striker, but are waiting for Rodrigo to say he wants to leave Real Madrid, in which he hasn't started in the last 3 games in the Club World Cup, people. He's only played 23 minutes, and there's a growing belief that after the Club World Cup, he'll make it clear to Real Madrid he wants to depart. A journalist has also said Arsenal advanced on signing Eze in recent hours and talks are well advanced with the player and his reps. All that is missing is the decision on whether Arsenal will activate his release clause or not. So it seems like there's a lot of juggling plates. Ben Jacobs has also said that we value Eze below his 68 million euros release clause. There's been no bid to date, but Arsenal's interest is serious and advancing. Eze is understood to be keen on a move to Arsenal. Again, some of those names I'm sure you lot would be enticed by. Would you want Noni Madueke? Arsenal apparently have made an offer to sign the Chelsea winger. Lol. Graham Bailey, from what I'm hearing from people close to the situation, once Real Madrid get back from the Club World Cup, Rodrigo is going to make it clear he wants to leave. I think Rodrigo is quickly emerging as Arsenal's dream target. I think everything points towards Rodrigo leaving, and my belief is that Arsenal will be towards the top of his desired places to go. Arsenal know what kind of fee it will take to sign Rodrigo, around 75 million. They know about his wages, and that hasn't scared them off one bit. We have been linked with the Monaco lad, who I'm keen on. Arsenal took advantage of talks with Gyökeres's agent, Hassan Sentikaya, to discuss another one of his clients, Magnus Akilishe, forgive me. The player features prominently on Arsenal's list of potential wingers. However, AS Monaco are demanding 70 million euros. Noni Madueke says Ornstein is one of the players Arsenal are looking at. Arsenal have long been searching for backup/competition for Saka. This guy can't be competition for Saka. They first looked at Mbuemo. That didn't work out. So they had to look at alternatives. Madueke is among them. A lot appeals to Arsenal about the profile because he can play on the other side too. He'll be known to many of the Arsenal players. He's London-based, and Chelsea are always open to conversations about trading. It's clearly one Arsenal are doing some work on. Conversations are more on the player side. I don't know if anything club to club at this point, but that can change very quickly. That's a fluid conversation at the moment. If he is to go, Chelsea will be looking for a sizable return. I don't know the exact fee. Some people have reported in excess of £45 million. I'd imagine previously seeing it was higher, certainly higher than what they paid for the player, I'd imagine. So quite the significant investment. Apparently, Martin Zubimendi is to be announced as an Arsenal player tomorrow. So that is today on July the 3rd, people. As I mentioned, Ollie Watkins apparently is being pursued by Manchester United, which he's our third choice target, we're led to believe. So we'll have to see how these things develop, people.